For over 100 million years, the honeybee has played an essential role in life on our planet, helping pollinate roughly 1/3 of the crops that produce the food we eat, sustaining ecosystems, and building some of nature's most sophisticated communities. Today, I'll be joining them. To be or not to be? That is the question. In order to become part of the hive, I'll need to complete a series of essential bee duties. If I can survive the day, I'll officially earn my stripes. But first things first, orientation.
I guess I didn't think that bees not needing to make honey would affect all these other things.
It's not just flowers, fruits, vegetables. They all need bees.
Well, that's a whole SAT test right there.
It's the bees. So you take away.
A healthy bee colony is made up of 3 types of bees. Whoa! 1 queen bee, thousands of female worker bees, and a few hundred male drones. The queen's main job is laying eggs, up to 2,000 a day during peak season. The drone's only job is to mate with the queen from another colony, and the workers do pretty much everything else. They clean the hive, feed the young, build the honeycomb, guard the entrance, collect the nectar and the pollen, and they even regulate the hive's temperature by fanning their wings. Every bee has a role, and together they keep the entire colony alive, which means if I'm going to become a bee today, I've got a lot of catching up to do. Honeybees work 24/7 to keep their hives clean, hauling out dust, hairs, and pests. They're so obsessed with cleanliness that most of them will leave the hive when they know it's time to die, to avoid contaminating brood and food stocks. Meanwhile, I found candy wrappers under my bed from last Halloween. One of the worker bees' biggest jobs is building the honeycomb. Young worker bees, usually around 2 weeks old, eat lots of honey, and their bodies convert those sugars into beeswax. Tiny flakes of wax come out through their special glands in the underside of their abdomen. They collect those flakes with their legs. They then chew on them until they're soft, and they shape them into the honeycomb. If you think about it, they could pick any shape they wanted. Triangles, squares, little tiny stars if they're feeling creative. But instead, every single cell is a hexagon. Why not a circle? Well, circles waste space with the little gaps between the rounded edges. Okay, what about a square? Well, squares fit together just fine. But hexagons? Hexagons give bees the most storage while using the least amount of building material. And they leave no gaps between the shapes, making them one of the most efficient shapes in nature. Pretty cool. So that's why they wouldn't do a heart or a triangle or even an octagon. And considering it takes bees around 6 to 8 pounds of honey just to make 1 pound of wax, suddenly it makes a lot more sense why they wouldn't want to waste any. So now that we have somewhere to store our honey, it's time to make something out of it. A single honeybee only makes about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its entire life. To make the 2/3 of a cup I need for this recipe, it would take the lifetime work of approximately 384 bees, or one very dedicated bee working for 44 years, which is impressive considering they only live about 6 weeks. Honey is actually one of the only foods that never really spoils. Archaeologists have found old pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old, and they're still edible. Humans have been keeping bees for at least 4,500 years, but somehow, after all that time, we've never taught them how to bake the cake themselves. So much of a worker bee's life revolves around flowers. No flowers means no nectar means no honey, and eventually, no bees. So it's only fitting that becoming part of the hive means giving something back. Nearly 90% of wild flowering plants depend on animal pollinators like bees to reproduce. Every flower planted is another pit stop for thousands of future pollinators. Did you know that bees communicate the location of good flowers by performing something called the waggle dance? The direction of the dance tells the other bees where to fly, and the length of the dance tells them for how long. And I imagine it goes something like this. Oh, hey, sorry. Have you seen a new flower patch anywhere? I can't find it.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and,
Right. Okay, awesome. Thanks.
yeah, no problem.
Bees face a lot of challenges today. Habitat loss, pesticides, disease, and climate change have caused many wild bee populations to decline, with several bumblebee species now considered at risk. Planting even a few native flowers can help give them food and places to forage. After spending the day trying to become a bee, I have to say I have a newfound respect for the real professionals. So maybe the best way to help isn't by trying to become a bee. Maybe it's by making sure they have everything they need to keep doing what they've been doing for the last 100 million years. Happy World Honeybee Day, everyone! If you have the space, make sure to plant a few native flowers today. You'll be helping a few thousand tiny workers without having to wear the costume. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!